There are things you do every single day that quietly push people away, and you probably have no idea. I call them charisma killers because they quietly destroy your charisma without you even realizing it. Because charisma isn't just about what you do right, it's also about what you do wrong without noticing. The small habits that make someone walk away from a conversation feeling drained, bored, or just slightly off, without being able to explain why. In this video, I'm going to show you 6 of the most common ones, and I bet you're doing at least 2 of them, but once you see it, you can finally fix it and become truly charismatic. Let's get into it. Charisma Killer 1, the monologue. Here's something most people don't want to admit. Talking about yourself feels good. It actually does. There's research on this. Sharing things about yourself activates the same part of the brain as food and money. It feels rewarding. So yeah, telling your stories, your weekend, your opinions, it feels great to you. The problem is the person on the other side, because while you're enjoying the story about how your friend's cousin went bungee jumping in New Zealand, they're sitting there thinking, why are you telling me this? Who is this person? Why do I care? And they never say it. They just smile and nod. And slowly, they start enjoying your company less and less. Not because you're a bad person, but because you turned what could have been a fun conversation into a boring monologue. However, stories are actually one of the best tools you have in a conversation. A good story, told with the right details, brings the whole thing to life. So yes, tell your stories. Just keep 2 things in mind. First, make sure the story is actually interesting to them, not just to you. The bungee jumping story about your friend's cousin? Nobody asked. But the time something genuinely funny or unexpected happened to you, that is interesting. Second, and this is the important one, no matter how good your story is, you have to invite them in. You can't just go story after story without giving them a turn. After you finish, just ask, has anything like that ever happened to you? Or, what would you have done in that situation? Or even just a simple, how was your weekend? Does the magic. That one question flips the whole dynamic. Now it's a conversation, not a performance. And that's the difference between someone people enjoy talking to and someone they just listen to. The monologue is about talking too much, but the next charisma killer is almost the opposite. Charisma Killer 2, running on autopilot. Did you ever realize how most people walk through their day completely on autopilot? Not bad people, not unfriendly people, just absent, going through the motions, staring at their phone at the checkout, rushing past the door without noticing the person right behind them, looking straight through the cashier without making eye contact. But the thing is, nobody remembers these people. You know they exist, but you can't name any of them, and that's the point. If you want to be genuinely charismatic, you have to turn off your autopilot. You are alive, and with that, you have the opportunity to make a difference. Not just through big, bold moves, but also by doing the small changes most are too distracted to notice. The person who actually looks at the cashier and says, "Hey, how's your day going?" and means it, stands out so much it's almost shocking, because almost nobody does it. The person who notices the woman walking right behind them and holds the door. The person who offers to help an older person carrying heavy bags without waiting to be asked. These things take 5 seconds, they cost nothing, but they build a version of you that people feel before you even open your mouth. Stop moving through life like a ghost. Start looking for the small moments where you can make someone's day slightly better, not to be seen doing it, just because you're actually present enough to notice. That presence, that decision to actually show up in the small moments, is one of the most underrated things you can develop, and it changes how every room feels when you walk into it. Being present makes people feel good in the moment, but the next charisma killer is about something longer term, and it quietly destroys one of the most important things you have. Charisma Killer 3, talking without walking. We all know this person, don't we? From now on, I'm going to the gym consistently. A week later, they can be found anywhere but in the gym. Next year, I'm going to start that business. Next year comes, but the 9 to 5 stays. Or they see a beautiful girl and say, I'll talk to her, no problem. Just not right now, but next time for sure. Every time you say you're going to do something and then don't, it doesn't just affect how others see you, it affects how you see yourself. Self-confidence is not about how you feel about yourself in theory, it's about how much you trust yourself in practice. Every time you follow through, you build a little more of it. Every time you don't, you chip away at it. Truly charismatic people have one very specific quality. They are people of their word. When they say they'll be somewhere, they are there. When they say they're going to do something, people don't question whether it will happen. It's going to happen. That reliability is magnetic, because nowadays it's rare. So if you want to become charismatic yourself, then say less and do more. Let your actions be the loudest thing about you. Talking without walking slowly but surely destroys trust. But the next charisma killer is even more subtle. It's something most people do with good intentions, but good intentions don't always land the way you think. Charisma killer 4, the Fixer Reflex. I am sure you're guilty of this, we all are. Your friend comes to you and starts unloading their emotions. Things at work are bad, their boss is unsupportive, everything feels like too much right now, they're just letting it out. And then, almost immediately, you say, okay, so here's what you should do. First, talk to HR. Second, start looking for other jobs. Third, have you tried setting clearer boundaries? You meant well, you were trying to help, but watch what happens on their face. They nod politely, they say, yeah, maybe, and the conversation dies, because they didn't come to you for a solution, they came to be heard. Think about a time when you were going through something and you just wanted to talk about it, not to be fixed, just to have someone sit with you in it for a second and say, that genuinely sucks. That's all, and somehow it feels like more than any advice could. The reflex to give solutions without being asked comes from a good place, but it skips the most important step, making the other person feel understood before you try to help them move forward. Before you offer a solution, try this. That sounds really hard. How are you feeling about it? Let them talk, let them be heard. If they want your advice, they'll ask for it. The people who are genuinely great to talk to aren't the ones with the best advice. They're the ones who make you feel like what you're going through actually matters. Now, this next charisma killer is sneakier because it genuinely feels like fun in the moment, but it does real damage to how people see you over time. Charisma killer 5, the gossip trap. Most people do this without realizing it, and it feels so natural in the moment that almost nobody questions it. But this is slowly but surely killing your natural charisma. You're with someone, things are a little awkward, so you start gossiping about a person both of you know. You start talking about what they did, what they said, how crazy it was. And suddenly, you're both laughing. The conversation flows, it feels like you bonded. But here's what's really happening. You didn't bond over each other. You bonded over tearing someone else down, and that's a very different thing. The problem isn't just that gossip is unkind, it's that the person sitting across from you is running a quick calculation in the back of their mind. If he talks about people like this when they're not here, what does he say about me? They might laugh along, but something shifts, and slowly they start trusting you a little less, sharing a little less, opening up a little less. Charismatic people build connections through shared energy, experiences, and humor. They don't do it through a common target. If you want to be truly charismatic, don't try to make yourself look better by putting others down. Instead, find something else. Ask a genuine question, share something you recently learned, or talk about your goals and the difficulties you're facing. The connection that comes from that actually lasts. By the way, if you're serious about increasing your charisma, we just launched the 7-day charisma challenge. 7 days, one simple real-life mission per day. Each one slightly harder than the last. It's the fastest way to turn everything you learn in these videos into something you actually become. And if you're watching this in June 2026, our pre-sale is officially live. You can get the challenge for just $12 instead of $19. Just use the code PRESALE at checkout. The link is right down in the description. Charisma Killer 6, the social accountant. I'm sure you know someone who does the following, and it might even be you, but it's a massive charisma killer because it turns friendship into business, and the people around you can feel it, even if they can't name it. So does these phrases sound familiar to you? I paid last time, so it's your turn. Sure, I'll help you move, but I'm going to need a favor at some point. Remember, you owe me $2 for the ice cream I bought you last week. Every interaction is a transaction, every favor has a price, every kind gesture is an investment with an expected return. The worst part? It ruins the entire vibe of the friendship. When you start counting every tiny dollar, you kill the trust. It shows the other person that you don't actually care about them. You only care about what you can get out of them. This doesn't mean you should always pay for everyone, or never ask for help in return. That's not what this is about. Big things are different. If someone owes you real money, you can and actually should ask for it back. But when you lend a colleague a pen and mentally note it, when you grab someone an ice cream and immediately wonder if they'll get the next one, when you're keeping a running total in your head of who's done what, that's a charisma killer. A real friendship, a real connection, is naturally 50-50 over time. It just balances out because both people actually care about each other. The moment you start keeping score, you've already decided it's not that kind of relationship, and people feel that. Alright, let's bring it together. 1. The monologue. People love talking about themselves. Give them the space to do it. 2. Running on autopilot. Show up in the small moments. Look at people. Hold the door. Actually be there. 3. Talking without walking. Say less, do more. Your word is only worth as much as your follow-through. 4. The Fixer Reflex. Make them feel understood first. The advice can wait. 5. The Gossip Trap. Bonding over tearing someone down isn't real bonding. Build connection on shared energy, not shared targets. And 6. The Social Accountant. Stop keeping score. Real connection doesn't work like a balance sheet. None of these are complicated, but all of them require you to actually pay attention to yourself, to others, to the small moments most people sleepwalk through. That's what charisma actually is. Not a personality type, not something you're born with, just a decision to show up differently than most people do. Remember to check out our 7-day charisma challenge if you're serious about becoming magnetic. The link is in the description. And if this video helped, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you there.